We have a developing story tonight. A former family court judge was removed from office because of an incident with his niece that happened more than 40 years ago. We've been telling you about this throughout the day today. Judge Bryan Hedges was a family court judge in Onondaga County. He resigned suddenly in April with no explanation at the time. State Commission on Judicial Conduct says Hedges admitted to sexual misconduct with his niece back in 1972. The little girl was 5 years old at the time. They were staying over at a relative's house. According to the commission, Hedges was 25 then. Criminal statute of limitations expired long ago. The truth came out early this year. Removal from office disqualifies Hedges from ever becoming a judge again. By the way, as far as we know so far, he still gets to retire, keep his pension and his benefits. Carrie Asion from the McMahon-Ryan Child Advocacy Center joined us now to add some perspective on this story. And what are your thoughts and words for this victim today as we begin here?
I think my thoughts for Ms. Warner is that, wow, you are incredibly brave, and we support you and we applaud you, and if there's anything this community can do to support you, that we are ready to do that.
That is kind words.
One of the things you were saying is that people keep asking, why has it taken so long to come to light? You know, we're talking a number of years here, but and you were talking a little bit about that what do we need to do to make sure that people and victims will come forward and say, you know, this is wrong and
Right, that's a great question. I think the first thing we have to recognize is that children, all children, don't often recognize that child abuse is wrong, and they don't understand that what's happening to them is wrong. And especially in this case, Ms. Warner as a child had communication limitations that of course prevented her from speaking out even further. I think what we can do for all children is to empower them, to help them understand that their body belongs to them, to be a supportive adult, to let them know we will support you. If someone is hurting you, to tell me, to tell your parent or any other trusted adult, and that I will believe you. And to really communicate that in a sincere way to children, that you believe them and you will support them and you will protect them. And I think that's how we prevent these periods of prolonged silence from happening so that we can intervene quickly.
Yeah, so the parents really need to be talking to their kids. Just let them know.
Absolutely, parents need to be talking to their kids. They need to be helping them understand what parts of their bodies are private, what parts of their bodies no one should ever touch, you know, unless it's a doctor or mom or dad is helping to keep you clean and safe. And if anything like that ever did happen, you say no, you run away, and you come tell me right now, and I will protect you.
Yeah, and it's got to be genuine.
It's got to be genuine. It's got to be genuine, and you know, there's information on our website that's forthcoming where we'll actually have things to talk to parents and to walk them through how they can talk to their kids. We'll make book suggestions in case parents want to read books to kids to have this conversation in an age-appropriate way. We understand it's a scary conversation, and we want parents and teachers and all those who care about children to have the appropriate tools to have these conversations.
This is another case where it's a prominent member of the community too. This was a judge who was making rulings on the lives of children and families for more than 25 years, and now to find out this had happened, what do we take away from that? I mean, this really can be anybody, can't it?
It really can be anyone, and you know, I think the position that Judge Hedges was in is a gross violation of public trust. That any time abuse happens, it's a violation of trust. Often, perpetrators know their victims. 85 to 90% of child sex abuse victims know their abusers. That means parents know their abusers too. So trust is always violated in these cases, and it can be anyone, and that's probably the hardest thing for any of us to understand, that we could know and trust and live among someone who could violate our child and violate our trust in this way. But we have to be vigilant, because if we're not, then these kinds of things happen.
Yeah. But luckily she found her voice and is speaking out.
Yeah, tomorrow we're going to hear from her, which is going to be really just fascinating. And so I talked with Randy Bregman from Vera House today on the phone, who's helping facilitate this tomorrow, and they're going to have a sign language interpreter there, so she's going to speak in her most comfortable language, which is American Sign. And it's going to be from the heart. She has a lot of anxiety about coming forward, as one can expect, but she's still willing to tell the story, so. Yeah. We'll bring people that tomorrow. Carrie, thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Great advice. Thank you.